Ready, people. Ladies and gentlemen. There we go.
Let's get it, man. We back. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's another COVID edition of that Real Talking Sports. Today's show, man, is sponsored by Tupac because it's strictly for our niggas. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. On that note, let's get this thing started.
All right, coronavirus.
Yeah.
You already know what it is, man. Let's we're gonna get into this NBA, man. Let's get into this NBA. There's a lot going on. The NBA is back, July 31st, and yeah, let's talk about it, man. What y'all thinking? What y'all thinking on this tournament situation? 22 teams.
First of all, I'm upset my team not in it. I'm a Wizards fan. I'm almost diehard. I'm died.
I'm almost die hard. Y'all, are you dead?
I'm diehard. I love the Wizards. My team ain't invited to the tournament, but at the same time,
they are. The Wizards are in the tournament.
My bad. Here we go. My man Brad.
The Wizards are probably the 22nd team.
For real, they are?
Yeah.
Who's in the tournament?
Yeah.
For a sports show.
The Wizards are definitely in the tournament. They are the
why?
They are the 9th seed in the East. So it's 9 teams from the East, and the rest of the teams are from the West.
Oh,
wait a minute. Go ahead. You the resident NBA expert. You know I don't. I would just be watching the NBA. Well, actually, it'll almost be over. I started watching around playoff time, and then we had this big coronavirus situation. So fill the people in on what's going on in the NBA, because I just don't. I don't know. I don't really like the product. It's all right, but it's not like it used to be. I used to love the NBA.
Yeah, because it was fantastic.
Yeah, right, correct. But explain it to the people so we get our bearings together, because we did not know the Wizards. Why the fuck is the Wizards in the playoffs?
First, we got the best shooting guard in the Eastern Conference. Maybe the second best player in the NBA this season.
You're right. Bradley Beal is a dog, but what the fuck? Why are the Wizards in the playoffs?
First of all, we had Mitch fuck up, and yeah, you got that type of shit in the front office. It's not Bradley Beal's fault. Bradley Beal scored 50 points on 2-3 straight nights, all in Wizards losses. That's unacceptable as an organization. So,
correct.
I'm happy he got the opportunity to at least have a chance to possibly play for a championship. It's not a definite, but it's a possibility. Nothing's guaranteed, but anything is possible.
All right, so this is the deal, fellas. It's 8 games before the playoffs start. The Wizards right now are, I want to say, 4 games back out of the 8th spot. So that's why they made the tournament.
Okay.
Because they actually still mathematically have a shot to get in. So no other teams from the East made the tournament. But in the West, the other 4 teams towards the bottom are roughly 2 or 3 games out of the last spot. So we get to see Ja, we get to see Zion, we get to see Portland, who actually, it was weird because Portland actually voted against the 22 team tournament, even though they made it, but that was weird. They were the only team that
I was saying he wasn't trying to mess around with the Rona.
Yes, that's why.
Yeah, but I mean, they supposed to be coming back healthy. That they said Nurkic might be back, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, it might be a good look, but yeah, it's, like I said, it's 4 teams in the West, so all of those 4 teams made it, and it's still going to be 16 teams for the playoffs. So it's still going to be 8 in the East, 8 in the West when the actual playoffs start. But they are getting those 8 games in, so those teams have an opportunity to make the playoffs. Now, with the Wizards, they talking about John might be back. We don't necessarily know what how that's going to look, but I mean, they talking about a lot of people coming back. They're talking about KD and Kyrie might be coming back, and so I don't know. We'll see how all of that go. But yeah, I mean, the Wizards have a shot. I don't know how good of a shot based on how the game shakeout, but yeah, they definitely do got a shot to get in the playoffs at this point.
So
It's
it wasn't
interesting to
necessarily the
see.
playoffs, so I was wrong. It was more so just like some teams that are close to the playoffs, and then they're gonna try to fight their way in.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually teams that were, I want to say the Wizards were maybe like 4 games out, and then it was like a team that was 5 games out, and then another team that was 6 games out. So they just took the Wizards in as the 9th seed for the East. And
Yeah, we close. That's why we would be after the All-Star break. We wasn't peaking, but we was playing better basketball. Bradley Beal was leading our team in the direction we need to go.
yeah, Brad was amazing. He was amazing in the after the All-Star break.
So once, and he should have been an All-Star, which that's a whole different discussion, then, man.
We're not gonna go down that rabbit hole because, like, I don't understand why.
It's not. I mean, it's definitely not a different discussion. Let's talk about it. He should have been an All-Star. He's probably the best shooting guard in the East. Maybe, arguably, maybe the best shooting guard in the NBA right now. Top 2 scorer in the league. I mean, yeah, he was upset that he knew he wouldn't get voted in as a starter. Like, he spoke about that because the fans vote the starters, but the coaches didn't vote him in.
Well, who the fuck are the fans?
But the players voted him.
A fan, like, I'm not a guy that watches the NBA every day. But at the same time, I know Bradley Beal is probably one of the best players in the league. Like, who's watching the NBA now?
You fans are. I mean, anybody. Mostly talking about kids when you talking about fans. Those are the people that really vote for the All-Star game.
Whoever on the commercials, because the Wizards wasn't winning, Bradley Beal wasn't getting the recognition that he deserved. Like I said earlier, he scored 50 in like 3 straight games, all in losses. But I mean, that's 150 points in 3 nights. That's that's something. That's something.
Was it 3 nights or did he go? I thought he went back to back 50.
It was something. It was like it was 2 or 3. It was 2 or 3 games. It was something crazy.
Yeah, I know he went back. He went back to back 50. He did go back to back 50.
Even on the night where he didn't get 50, he had like 37 or 38. Like,
yeah, he went back to back 50 because him and Kobe the only 2 that ever did that shit. There were only 2 that did it in the last like 20 years or something since like Mike.
Right, and I would say as a Wizards fan, if John Wall coming back, he need to recognize that he need to get Bradley Beal. He need to use his athleticism, and hopefully he can shoot free throws and hit the mid-range jumper. But we're not gonna get into that because that's not expected. Coming onto the court, he's gonna be rusty, so he need to understand that he need to get the ball to Bradley Beal, let Bradley Beal dictate the offense, and play his role as a point guard, and not as supposedly superstar John Wall. Because right now, he's not superstar John Wall. He's coming back from injury, and Bradley Beal is the leader of this team. It's unfortunate that Mitch, I ain't going to disrespect him, man, but it's unfortunate we had to take away Kevin Oubre for not even peanuts. Like, I don't even know what you would call that trade. It's definitely not peanuts. But
definitely made a bunch of skeptical decisions.
Yeah. You really think it's still Bradley Beal's team? Like, not trying to make it a controversy or anything, but
no, it's not. Bradley Beal is the best player on the Washington Wizards team. John Wall is the next player, but Bradley Beal is the best player on the Washington Wizards.
No, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, you. But like when John Wall comes back, are you? Is it really like, oh yeah, it's John? It's not John Wall's team? Because I feel like the narrative would be it's John Wall's team.
Right, and that's what John Wall would need to step in as a professional individual and understand that he's not even. I ain't gonna say he's not close, but he's not the caliber of player of Bradley Beal. Like, Bradley Beal can score from any ball. Bradley Beal can get to the bucket off the dribble. He can get to the bucket from the 3. He can get to the bucket from the mid range. John Wall, he can bucket. But yeah, man, he's an assist point guard. He needed more part of his game after Rajon Rondo. Yeah, a Patrick Beverly, somebody that's going to dig in on defense and then get everybody else involved. Because over the past 9 years, he have not improved his free throw shooting game. He has not improved his jump shot shooting game, and he's not been able to stretch the floor. So he's athletic. He made good decisions. he should probably, just pattern his game to be a Robin instead of a Batman. He's not Batman. He's not getting the ball with the game on the line. That's Bradley's ball. And as a fan,
my brother, I do feel you on that one, but I'm not for sure if that's going to really be the narrative when he comes back.
It's not going to be. And
I feel like whatever they do, if they can figure it out, like they'll still be like a top 5 seed in the East and can do some damage if Bradley Beal stays. Like, because if he goes to the Nets, or I'm not for sure if that deal is still even on the table, but like Bradley Beal, everybody want him. To be honest with you, like Lakers wanted him.
And what does that say about
Bradley Beal?
And what does that say about John Wall versus Bradley Beal? Like, nobody wants John Wall's contract because John Wall's not worth the contract he's playing for. Bradley Beal doesn't have he has a contract, but his contract is expiring. And what? Next 2 seasons? Next season?
No, I gotta look that up, but I thought he signed the extension.
Brad just signed. Brad gonna be here. Brad not going anywhere.
Yeah, he's not going nowhere. I think
he already said that he wasn't going anywhere. I know they was talking about him going to Brooklyn, but he said he's not going to Brooklyn. He said he wants to win in Washington. And both him and John Wall were both on All the Smoke podcast. Shout out to my boy Jack and my boy Matt Bonds. But they were both on All the Smoke, and they both said that they want to be in Washington and they want to win in Washington. So I think that they can. I think that they can get it done. They just have to find a median where John needs to realize that he needs to be Robin to Batman, because the thing is John can get to the. John might not be a good shooter, but John is so quick and he can move that he can get to the basket. So he needs to be that guy. Like, he needs to be the guy to get to the basket, draw defenders, to make Brad's life a little easier. But they can figure it out because they a backcourt. So that's the one thing with them. He's a ball handler and Brad's more of the shooter. So they can work just because of that. Just because it is a ball handler, a primary ball handler, and a primary shooter. So they can make it work. They just need to figure out the best way for them to, get each other to rock so they could score. Because outside of that, the Wizards have a bunch of young pieces, but those two have to be the engine. Because if those two can be the engine, then somebody like Akamura can come in and he could be that wingman that could probably get them that 18 to 20 that they need, because I think he's on the verge of being a young Thundercat. So if John and Brad can figure it out, I think that he gonna come along, and I think that they'll be all right.
I'm pushing for them because I feel like both of those guys are good enough to like get deep into the playoffs and even compete for a conference title or maybe even a championship. Like they're that type caliber of player, both of them. But they just got to get on the same page. And I don't know if it's like injuries or contracts or it's a lot of factors.
And they both was listening to the media because in the media they were saying that they don't get along and all that stuff. So they spoke on that, and it was a point where they were listening to the media and it was some friction. But apparently they squashed it. John had some family issues and Brad was there for him for his family issues, so they kind of bonded. So
that's how it should be, because it's not because we don't know, like people claim they know and people report stuff, like you don't really know. That man sitting in the locker room next to this man. Like you don't have all the information. For you to say you do doesn't really make a lot of sense. But I just hope they get it in order to just get on the basketball court and win some games. Because I want to see them do good. Because it's not a bad duo. That duo it could be a Steph and Clay type duo.
Absolutely.
They don't lack no talent.
We had a trio. and they messed it up.
Oh yeah, the Kelly Oubre, yeah.
But
Well,
I think the Wizards have replaced. I think they finally replaced Kelly though. I think Rui is the guy. I really
yeah,
do.
yeah, but Kelly was when Kelly was traded. Kelly was our best defender. He was our best 3-point shooter, spot up, and he was our energy guy.
He
Like,
was no. He's a lightning rod. He absolutely is. He's a
yeah,
lightning rod.
Right.
whoever allowed Ernie to run operations for however many years he was running, Ernie should have been fired on day 3. Like, anybody who ever seen anything, any decision he ever made, he should have been fired on day 3. I don't know why I kept calling him Mitch Kupchak earlier. That
Definitely called him Mitch Kupchak, both. You been calling him Mitch Kupchak.
The whole day.
that's right.
The whole fucking day.
It's all good. It's all good, Ernie. We know who you are, bro.
Right. Trash ass. Mitch Kupchak was trash at times too. That's probably where I get it from. But I digress.
All right, man. Let's swing this conversation a little bit, man. We still gonna keep it in the NBA, but let's swing it over to the boy Zion, man. Zion, he gotta go to court. So he know what happened. You know, blue chips. You know, they came to the house with the bag of money and the Humvee was out front on the 20s. Did mom take the keys? You know what I'm saying? You got to go in front of the court. So what y'all think? Did he do it?
Right? Is he going to jail?
Did he do what?
Did they receive the gifts?
Man, is he going to jail?
Don't everybody receive the gifts?
What gifts?
What get right? Is he going to jail?
No, he ain't going to jail. You know he ain't going to jail.
Right.
Gifts.
Man, I don't know what you're talking about.
Duke might get a slap on the wrist or something. Krzyzewski probably dropped off the 25K. Probably got mom a job or something, you know.
All I know, sir, is I was playing basketball and my shoe exploded and my knee started hurting.
That definitely happened.
My bills is paid. That's all I know, sir.
That definitely happened. That might need to be his defense right there, BB. You might need to be his defense attorney.
What gift?
BB, you already a doctor, shit. You might as well just add that to your BB Doc and Associates on their ass.
Dr. BB.
Right. Excuse me, sir.
Just get on the stand and say, man, you ain't see me blow on my shoe. I'm finished.
Like I said, what gifts? Like, don't nobody care about that shit. If Krzyzewski not in the courtroom with him standing side by side, I don't give a fuck about it.
I like it.
Period. I don't care about it. Because they've been handing out gifts since the beginning of the goddamn time.
Right. Very true. Blue chip.
Yeah.
So let's shift this thing over to man Vince Carter, man. He took his final shot since Atlanta didn't make the tournament. So we just wanted to give a salute to the Vince Dot. You already know, man. Probably one of the greatest dunkers of all time, no doubt. Probably top 2 greatest dunkers of all time.
We ain't gonna salute Vince. I got controversy.
No. Let me talk about Vince. Hold on.
All right. I got
salute Vince, goddammit.
North Carolina Tar Heel, baby.
And not about Vince, but I got a question that's arguable. But I'll go ahead and speak to your thing.
Not Tar Heel Nation, Vince Carter. Salute to you, my brother. Not only that,
amazing.
Yeah, not just a dunker, but just a great all-around basketball player, man.
Absolutely.
Longevity, because whatever industry career that you have, you want to be able to say that you was in it for a while, you did it at the highest level, and he did that. So salute to that brother. All right, BB.
Played the most years in NBA history, man.
Right, yeah.
22 years.
3 decades. Played in 3 different decades.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
That's something to be proud about.
Salute to Carter, man. So what you got, BB, about Vince Carter?
Hey, I ain't got nothing about Vince Carter. I love Vince Sandy. I don't want to get into it. I love Vince Sandy. Like, I'm a Vince Sandy fan. He's legend to me. Hall of Fame, first ballot, whatever it takes. He's the first one. If his name come up, he's up there with Kobe to me. So I want to say, and they primes, you got a prime Toronto Vince Carter, or you got a prime Cleveland LeBron. What player would you want on your team? That Toronto Vince. Yeah. And I invented clubs and bottle service Vince.
Man, that's a good question. That's a good question. I mean,
I'm still gonna go with LeBron.
I think I am too. I think I'm gonna go with LeBron too, just because he just has more of an all around game. But I mean, that's not a bad question because at his peak, Vince was at 28 a night. So
before either.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one right there. Because I mean, he at his peak he was at 28 a night, so he definitely was getting it done.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think LeBron he been at 27 a night. That's his career average. It is his career average. I don't really.
LeBron. I want to say LeBron was getting 29 on one of them years. He was almost getting 30 one of them years.
Second in Cleveland. I mean, second in Miami.
It probably was one of them. It was one of them early years, but that's a good one. That's a good one. Shit, but we gonna end this basketball portion of the show, man, with this basketball county doc, man. PG County had the documentary. You had KD and Depot and Beasley and what's my man's name?
Nolan Smith.
Nolan. It was awesome. I can't even think of my man's name that played for Golden State.
Quinn Cook.
Quinn, yeah, I'm tripping. Quinn, yeah. So it was it definitely told a lot about the basketball in the area, and it also missed a lot. But it's all good. You know what I'm saying? We had a discussion. A lot of the basketball that's played in the DMV, for those that don't know, actually happens on the line. So if you playing over in Anacostia at the Farms, or if you playing over in Watts and Capitol Heights, I mean, you pretty much are in DC and Maryland. I mean, it's like really like 2-3 minutes apart either way. So it was kind of interesting. They didn't really highlight much of what was going on in DC. It was some hoop stars from DC that wasn't necessarily mentioned. It was some people in the documentary that might have been a little sketchy. One historian that may not have been a historian.
There's some.
But we're gonna leave him alone. We're gonna let Dave live, man. Go ahead, Dave. We're gonna let you live, bro. But yeah. So yeah, what's your thoughts, man? What was your thoughts on the doc, man?
You wanna go first, BB, or you wanna?
I go. I'm short. I'm not from the area. What I do know is that, man, some great individuals came out the area. Some people they should have had on that. I felt like Keith Bogans. Y'all said Ty Lawson. These people should have been on the documentary. They wasn't kind of in there. And Keith Bogans did great things at Kentucky, and he did great things in the NBA. He was a solid NBA player for a long time.
And most of all, he's a stag. And the crazy part was he was not even mentioned in the DeMatha port. DeMatha had a whole portion. Shout out to them stags. But DeMatha had a whole portion of the show. And that Bogans Forte team, it was. That's why I said it was some stuff that was missed. I'm sorry, I digress.
No, I know. That documentary was like The Last Dance PG, because it was KD and others.
You can go over there.
It was the KD Jordan story, and Pippen ain't played right in the clutch. Talk about.
No, I thought it was decent. Like, I didn't have an issue with it. Like I told y'all offline, like I think it was just like Prince George's County. The guys that's from Prince George's County, they had their own identity, and I think Tayu was right. Like, it missed out on a lot of guys that was from DC that may have played on other courts and stuff like that. But I don't have a problem with it because it was their identity or KD's identity, whoever, and a lot of those guys do mix and mingle and play on different teams. But like, you're right. I thought like they would have mentioned like Sherman Douglas or, like you said, Lawrence Moten and
Smitty. I I definitely would have thought Smitty would have got mentioned.
Like, it's a whole bunch of guys, but like, once again, like it wasn't the DMV. It was like
PG County,
Prince George's County, and I respect that. Like it
Yeah.
is what it is. Like it was cool though. But then once again, a lot of those guys went to our high school. Shout out to DeMatha. Yeah, I thought it was good though. Like I enjoyed everything about it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was good to see. Like, and it was good to see people from, that or from the area get acknowledged and pay homage for, whatever skill set that they had and they produced. So like I thought it was dope. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that wanted to see more, So maybe they'll do another part where they bring everybody together, But
Yeah.
I thought it was good though, to be honest.
No, it was an excellent. It was definitely an excellent documentary. I guess when you see stuff like that, you just want to see more because
Yeah, but that's because though.
Yeah.
And once again, like when you a basketball guy, you played in the area, like you said,
Yeah, I went to camp with a lot of them dudes.
a significant portion of those guys. So like you're like, oh yeah, but what about such and such? But that wasn't really what it was about. And then it's only X amount of hours.
Right.
It wasn't. I don't even think it was 2 hours. So maybe they add on to it and then shed light on the DC guys or even the Virginia guys or some guys that came from out of state that had been playing for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Dave East, I think Forte was not from DC, or the area, but he
was a transplant there. Yeah.
He did DeMatha. I think his dad was like a referee for a long time. And
Yeah.
then, situations like that. So like just expand on it. But the bottom line is a lot of talent in basketball comes from this area.
Absolutely. The DMV is
DMV, and even I know a lot of people don't consider Baltimore, but even like Baltimore with BB and them from Juan Dixon and all those guys, like it's a lot of great
ballers
that come from the state of Maryland,
absolutely,
DC, and the state of Virginia. Like period. And I know sometimes it's a lot of division about like where you actually from, but everybody when you come here, like you looking at the whole state of Maryland, you looking at DC, and you looking at Virginia too.
Absolutely.
That's just the bottom line. And,
Northern Virginia.
Yeah, Northern Virginia. Yeah. To be specific. Yeah, but a lot of people like when the coaches come in, they know what they're looking for. They know these kids out here balling. The AAU circuit is hot.
Right. You see, the West Coast teams came over here. Bronny team came over. They got blowed out.
Yeah, that's what BB like to say. Like he always say like the West Coast guys, they don't really go as hard, and that might be true.
Don't play ball.
But like I said, I'm not like a super basketball guy. I just know what I see and what I read. I'm confident I can understand and read between the lines. But from what I can see, is like the people in this area play ball a little bit different, and they tend to get to the league.
And make an impact.
So the proof is in the puddings. Numbers don't lie. Like, so it must be something in the water.
And on that note, that's how we're going to end the basketball segment because that was perfectly said. Shout out to my man Victor Page.
Right.